Kia ora, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week, get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock. With news, some central banks have started to cut policy rates. Others are contemplating long holds or even rises. But first, the US ADP employment report disappointed, indicating private payrolls rose 152,000 in May and less than the 175,000 expected and the 188,000 rise in April. This is the precursor report to this weekend's May non-farm payrolls report, when a 188,000 increase is anticipated there too. There may be a downside expectations growing now. And the ADP report, though, said pay was up 5% over the past year, indicating American workers are staying well ahead of inflation's rise. But the news that dominated markets overnight was the unexpectedly strong rise in the ISM Services PMI. The expansion it recorded was a strong 53.8 and a sharp rebound from the minor contraction they reported in April. Further, this survey was backed up and more by the S&P Market Services Sector Survey, which came in even stronger at 54.8. New order growth in both surveys drove the expansions. And the Canadian Central Bank came through with its expected rate cut, a 25 basis points reduction to 4.75%. Markets expect the ECB will also make a similar signal and also a 25 basis point rate cut to 4.25%. We'll see. Interestingly, the Canadian rate cut has not brought expectations that it will revive their housing markets. The private Caixin Services PMI for China came in better than expected for May and a bit better than the official Services PMI. Meanwhile, the Japanese Services PMI has risen in its final version from the flash result. It too was a similar and good expansion. In Australia, yesterday's release of quite weak first quarter GDP growth has brought fears of stagnation there. GDP per capita has fallen 1.6% since mid-2022. The US Treasury 10-year yield is now at 4.29%, down another 4 basis points from yesterday. But the price of gold will start today up $23 from yesterday at $2,353 an ounce. And oil prices are up 50 cents at just on $74 a barrel in the US, while the international Brent price now just under $78.50 a barrel, and a slightly larger rise. And the Kiwi dollar starts today marginally firmer from yesterday at just under 61.9 US cents. Against the Aussie, we're up almost a quarter cent at 93.1 Australian cents. Against the euro, we're marginally firmer too at 56.9 euro cents. That all means our trade-weighted index starts today at just under 71.2, up more than 20 basis points from yesterday, and its highest since late February. You get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston, and we'll do this again tomorrow.